In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission, to bring freedom to everyone involved.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm doing a thing for the podcast.
Just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast.
I'm gonna look it up when I get
St. Dupont.
So
Dupont.
Like S. It's S. No,
It's
it's
like
S
Grey
period
Poupon.
T period.
Oh, okay, so-
Dupont.
Dupont. It's like
D-U-P-O-N-T.
flocon de neige, but Dupont.
They are a French
It's
company.
French.
It is, and he's not wrong. It's Dupont. So it's funny that you brought up Fabergé because the one of the things that he actually owned was a Fabergé cigar punch.
See, flocon de neige.
So it was
Fabergé,
actually
right.
he just assembled it.
It all
you
means
punched
the
it.
same
all
thing.
coming together
It all
now.
means
But it
the
was
same thing.
actually a Fabergé
Coming together is the key.
cigar punch.
Unfortunately,
I'm pretty sure we've been live for a while. So
oh fuck,
we've lost.
So we gotta,
Hey!
we gotta tell the new guy you gotta get your mic a little closer to you. You can't.
you gotta actually speak.
is that better?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
there
gotta
you
actually
go.
speak into it.
I mean, it's not like my gaming rig when it's in my mouth.
keep
Like,
it close. They're directional. So like the front where the
Yeah, you gotta-
little spit screen is,
Yeah.
Well,
you
and-
actually have to talk into that.
and
The
you-
back side of
so
it
I don't
doesn't
need to
record
spit
in.
on
The
it at
good
all?
news is
Well, you can. It's Mikey's. It doesn't matter.
we put these spit
got
screens.
plenty of split.
We put these spit screens on here for our gay guests, so they don't try to deep throat the mic. It kind of, so you're good.
Every once in a while, you see Scotty's just like hitting the thing. He doesn't really know what to do.
Every once in a while, his mouth just goes.
All right, fuck it, let's read it. Fuck boys.
Fuck boy.
What are we
Boys.
doing? What are we doing?
We're here, not even fucking close to live from the Warfighter Tobacco Studios in.
San Antonio.
There you go. And Johnny Boy, what are we about to do?
We're about to fucking masturbate.
Oh, there it is. It is time for your weekly induction of the master debate from the Freedom Friends, plus a Freedom fan, the one and only Chris Freeman,
Thank you very much.
who bought his way onto the show by showing up with enough fucking bourbon. So we're gonna let him hang
Wait,
out.
that's it. Are you telling me he's the only one I had to send nudes to?
That's it.
Jesus Christ.
No,
John.
No, we didn't say that.
Guys, don't give away my secrets.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Why are you the only one that gets them?
I'll share.
I know you will. He
If you
does
were
all the time.
listening, if you were listening to the show and you have nudes, by all means, fucking send them in.
I never said those dick pics were me, all right?
I never said they weren't.
Yeah. Absolutely send in the nudes because we're really good at Photoshop.
They can make your hands look huge. That's all I'm saying.
But we are here to deliver to your weekly master debate because we all know that you love them, you hate them, but you're still fucking listening to them. So I'm going to turn it into our producer extraordinaire, the tall glass of 2% milk that is Justin.
he needs some milk.
Justin, what are we debating today?
All right, boys. So,
All right, boys.
So, as one of our awesome Freedom Friends posed the question during our live feed today, I want to know, aside from anything you're doing right now, a completely separate venture, what business would you start? Completely separate from anything that's going on right now. Anything, I want something separate. What would y'all do?
Separate than what we have going on. Separate
So
than
it-
what we've talked about
So it
previously
can't be.
on the show.
It can't be. It can't be like cigars for y'all. It can't be designed for me. It
Is
can't
this-
be the. It can't be the podcast. You can't say like that's what I'd like to go
can't-
do or
It can't
whatever.
be the apps that we talked about.
Is
it
it-
can't
the
be
apps.
previously spoken
I
about.
got
things.
one question.
Okay.
Is this in addition to or instead of?
Well, I guess if we
Yes.
were
No, this is totally new.
so
Totally.
in
So
the
but
entre-
it's-
Nothing we've done in
It
the
doesn't.
past.
No, Scott. It doesn't matter. It's not in addition or instead of.
in the
Okay.
entrepreneurial spirit, if you were going to go start another business,
What would you do?
Oh, you're starting with me.
Well, no,
yeah,
no,
we'll
no.
start with you because
Okay.
you decided to fucking make it complicated.
So,
So,
for example, for Scott and John, you couldn't be in the gun industry, you couldn't be in the cigar, and you couldn't be military.
no, well, they don't have the gun industry anymore.
I'm saying, does it include past?
Well, it's
No,
just
it's
you
current.
just can't be doing it
current.
right
Okay.
now. If
Okay.
you were to go start another company right now,
But I'll tell you right now,
what would you start?
and I will speak for Scott on my behalf or on his behalf, however that works.
Whatever.
Neither of us will get back into the gun industry,
I'm not going to say ever.
but not for a profitable sole enterprise.
If I get into the gun industry
It'd have to be a
again,
passion project.
if I get
think,
into
for
the
you.
gun industry again, it will not be retail.
Yes.
It will be manufacturing.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah, but you've already done that like 50 times. Look at history.
Yeah, but
Fucking you and John Browning were boys.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That motherfucker stole some shit from me too.
Yeah,
bro.
no. He didn't even put your name on the fucking patents.
know.
What an
Yeah.
asshole.
I mean,
So if
Barrett stole your ideas and still didn't do the reach around. It's fucking.
he
it's
worked
just
for Barrett.
Completely, totally fucked.
He worked for Barrett.
Well, with Barrett,
Well,
there's a
with-
difference.
they offered him a job.
They did offer
And
me
he
a
was
job.
like, fuck you. You stole everything from me. You're a piece of shit. I'm out.
Were you on? Did you make the plans for the original Colt with Samuel Colt?
no.
No, Samuel Colt stole his design.
All right. So I have two.
Oh shit! Good, because I haven't thought of one yet. So
So I've actually thought about this a little bit because I am an entrepreneur, and
can't spell it, but you are one.
I damn sure cannot spell it.
You're such an asshole.
But you're not wrong.
It's true. But that's why you're an asshole. You're not a lie. You're an asshole because it's true.
It's funny because it's true.
All right, I'm out.
Johnny Boy, can I get some croutons?
And then there were three.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So the one that I've actually been thinking about doing now is starting a transportation company, where we have
Like Jason Statham style, or
no like
Hey, right into the gun business. There you go.
like long shots trucking, like with diesel pickups. I've put some effort into planning that, and I don't know if I'll ever do it, but it's kind of a fallback plan. But the other one that I would like to do that would complement Warfighter is someday I may like to get into the distilling business.
That'd be fun.
You know,
That'd be
but
a lot of fun.
right now it'd be too much to bite off because I'd be really passionate about it. I wouldn't want Warfighter to slide, but someday I'd like to do maybe a co-branding of like a Warfighter bourbon or something like that.
mine's actually really close to yours.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna volunteer to go next. 'Cause
All right.
I think it's a pretty good follow up. Not distilling, but it's actually something my wife and I have joked around about and stuff like that. But to be totally honest with you, I would absolutely love to get into it.
Well, she should bake and she should just do the guy.
Right?
All she needs to do is make macaroons.
Yeah.
Fucking those
get the
macaroons are
macaroon business.
retarded.
And just straight up call it crackaroons.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, my wife and I have joked around about it, but I would 100% do it if I could find the money to get it done. But
That's the hard part.
yeah, no shit, right? I would 100% own a winery.
That'd be so much fun.
I would love to own a winery,
Everything that goes with it.
I talked to, I don't mean
but
to cut you off.
I would want like a full on, like a single source winery. So
I talked to a
live on the
guy,
property, and I have a tasting house that's there. I own all the vines. Like we're doing it all
Tours, everything.
there. Yeah,
I talked to a guy in Texas, and he grows grapes on 5 acres of his property, and he can produce 1,000 bottles per acre. No,
It was close to that, I think.
I think it was 1,000 bottles per acre. And he came here into the shop, and Scott and I were both had this conversation with him, and he explained like where the best place in Texas to grow and why, and not based off of yield, but based off of
the climate.
no, it had nothing to do with climate. It was based off.
Well,
of,
wine has everything to
It
do
was
with the
based
climate.
off of bugs. It was based off of
Well, that's part of the climate.
yes and no.
What do you mean yes and no?
Because your climate here is similar climate to other places in Texas. You just don't have the same bug.
Yeah, but that is part of the
word
climate.
is.
You're
When
talking
you-
about the weather. I'm talking about climate and what actually climate means.
Okay, maybe I'm not smart enough to understand all of that.
Yeah.
But you can't grow around this area. That's what I'm getting to.
Is it the same concept along the lines of growing tobacco and stuff like that when you're saying, because I remember you were talking about to me about it, where you could take the same leaves that you grow down in Nicaragua, bring them up here and dry them out, but they wouldn't taste the same.
No, that's the aging process.
That's
that
the
I was
aging
talking
process,
to you about.
environmentals, and soil has a lot to do with
But
it. So,
soil is the biggest aspect.
Soil
so when
and
you see shit
elevation.
that says
Yep.
Cuban seed, that didn't mean a goddamn thing.
Okay, it's a
all of
Cuban
our-
seed, but
no,
where
no.
where was it grown?
All of our
Right.
cigars are Cuban seed. They're all Cuban
Because
seed.
all of those
but they're
masters,
grown in
when they
Nicaragua,
left
Dominican,
Cuba,
they're grown all over the other
They
place.
took the Cuban seed with them. So sure, it's Cuban lineage, but it's
not the
It's
same.
not the same
It's not
thing.
even close to the same.
the biggest thing that actually makes Cuban cigars taste different is the lithium content of the soil in Cuba.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a very distinct taste in Cuban
It's a very
cigars.
it's very mineral heavy because there's extremely high lithium content.
And I can say, as much as I actually like cigars and I enjoy them when I can, I have never had a true Cuban cigar.
Actually, that cigar night I went to on Friday night, dude showed up and handed me the Linea 43 from Monte Cristo. I was like, yeah, all right. Like,
It's gonna be
Chris is
okay.
about to get his mind blown.
oh
And he
shit,
doesn't
they're gonna
even know
fuck
it.
you up. But yeah, Cubans have a very, very specific taste, and it has to do with the mineral content of the soil. Fuck you.
I think we're gonna cut this one open and pass her around.
Oh, are we? Nice.
We're gonna joint style this COVID
I
style.
like it.
And I did have a chance when I was in Germany. So
Hey, do me a favor.
Yes.
When you're smoking this,
Yeah.
don't dick lip this fucking cigar. Like this fucking.
So this is an H Upman, actually Cuban. So
Actually, like, and we know the person
And
that picked it up
I will
from
tell
the
you right
factory
now,
in Cuba.
the flavor is completely different.
Big shout out to Hollywood Herd.
Was you get it from Hollywood?
Yeah, it did.
Hey.
Hollywood.
I did have the chance, but at the time when I was younger and I didn't
tell you what,
understand it.
Hollywood can keister the fuck out of some cigars.
Actually,
How's it taste? Pretty good.
kind of like keister.
This one seems to me, and it's just might be just because it's just lit, very light.
Most are.
well, he's puffing away on that.
Yeah.
I'd start a
Continue.
winery.
Yeah.
Very,
And
very earthy.
I think I would actually probably stick to relatively the same model that the winery I belong to sticks to, which is they don't do restaurant sell, they don't do
It's kind of like a boutique
distribution style and stuff
winery
like that.
per-
Yeah.
per se.
but I think I would do that because then you do get the chance to, for lack of a better term, you get to play more.
Yeah.
You get to do more of like, thought this would be cool,
long have
so
you
I
had
made
this
it.
back?
Because you're not super worried about
it?
how
How long is it?
you know,
aged
is
before that, do you
specs
know?
or Total Wine or whatever going to be cool with carrying my wine.
You're putting out exactly what you want.
I'm going to make what I want
As
to
a brand.
drink, and then if other people want to drink it, cool, you
Exactly.
can buy the bottles of it.
And it's kind of like what we did with Warfighter with
Well,
with
it's
our
exactly
core blends.
why I like boutique cigars,
Yeah.
and it's not because it's not that hipster like with beer and shit like that where it's I want to smoke this or drink this or whatever because
You're-
nobody else is. It's
Right.
more of I like the idea that I can actually taste the signature on the cigar.
You're
Right.
not trying to put out the driest cab that you can possibly make.
No, I want to make the wine that I actually
that is
want to
going
drink.
to pair perfectly with what you
So
want.
the fact that I
that
like
evening.
a big fruit forward cab that grabs you by the back of the jaw and kind of shakes you around a little bit and stuff like that. It's like I don't need to make 100,000 bottles of this.
Yeah.
I can make 5,000 bottles of it. And I will find those 5,000 people that also want to smoke this wine,
Right.
or I'll find 4,000 people that want to drink this wine,
and Jazz is getting shit faced for like 4
Yeah.
months.
and I'll drink the rest of it. Like, it's fine. So if I could get into a business outside of the businesses that I'm currently involved with, I think I would get into. I'd want to own a winery.
Can you hire me to stomp on your grapes?
Only if you're naked.
So, Jazz, I have a question for you
Done.
in
It would
regards
be
to
in my
wine.
contract. I'll sign that all day
Just-
long.
yes.
So your
But
preference
please.
is Cabernet?
Yes and no.
Can I also have a daily viewing?
So, yes, I do. My default will be from any winery that I'm buying from. I will always buy their cab first. However, I will not say that my default is Cabernet. My default is a big red.
Okay.
I want large flavor red wines. That's what I'm going for. Most of the time, Cabernet delivers that. So that's why in I think what you're asking, yes, my default is Cabernet.
Okay.
But there are companies like Duckhorn.
yeah.
Duckhorn's Merlot is huge. That is a big wine. Like the flavors are massive. It's big, it's bold. It doesn't have that smooth Merlot texture
Yeah.
that everybody expects and stuff like that.
So the winery that I'm a member of, Pedernales, they make a
Hello.
no, it's a Merverde.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of exclusive to Texas, and they also make a Tempranillo, and the Tempranillo has a smoky flavor to it that is the only other time that I tasted something that was similar to that was after the fires they had in California. There was a vineyard out there that instead of doing anything after the fires, all they did was grow on the burnt ashes of everything that was there. So you had this unbelievably smoky taste, but it was a very natural smoke to it.
But that comes back to that soil content thing that we were talking about earlier with it's Cuban seed. Yeah, okay. But the
Right.
soil is what
soil
feeds
itself.
that plant.
It's the chemicals, not chemicals, but the
nitrates
nutrients
in the soil,
Right.
within it.
So let's circle.
You're going to taste like what you eat.
Yes.
So
And
let's-
it's the same thing with plants.
Let's circle back to this Cuban cigar. So my thoughts on it are, it's good. It's different than most things that I would normally smoke.
Yeah.
But I can't say it's either better or worse or
No,
you know
it's
what I mean?
unique.
It's just unique because
yeah.
of the region.
Yeah. So here's the thing: I don't inhale cigars.
Well, nobody does.
Well, you're not
This
supposed to.
one, I know you can't, but I
Well,
think
you
in order,
can.
I didn't say
It
you
just
can't.
sucks.
I just said you're not supposed to.
this one I can, and I've got no problems with it.
Yet.
Yeah. But
Retrohale it.
But no, I mean,
So-
and that's
so
why, like,
what's
I
that
can,
mean?
I can
Push it
pick
out
up a
through your
cigar.
nose.
Just
So
the
take your
last,
draw
last
and
little
then
bit.
the last little bit, push it out
Don't
through your
inhale
nose.
it.
Not
but
the whole
just-
thing, just the last like 20% push out through your nose.
There you go. So that's where you get all the flavors.
That's where you'll pick up all your flavors.
That's
It's known as a
called a
retrohale.
retrohale.
like I said, I like cigars.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, so
Understand.
you're still going to do a mouth draw, push out about 80% of the
did.
draw, and then
did.
20% through
Yeah.
your nose.
Yeah.
I'm,
No, he
I'm
totally-
speaking to the viewers,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
listeners, whatever the fuck we are.
This is an audio / video maybe show.
With all 12 views we
Yeah.
have on the video content.
But no, like, so like
I think we just put a lot of work on Justin
I mean,
for
you can
nothing,
literally
is essentially what it boils down
you
to.
can put 3 cigars next to
Especially
each other
paired.
with no bands, and you can take a Cuban cigar, and you can take a Nicaraguan cigar, and you can take a Dominican cigar. And in theory, you could take the same root-based seed, the same plant family, and make the same
will taste
cigar
different.
from 3 different regions, and it'll be 3 completely separate
Yeah.
tasting
Yeah.
cigars.
So any of you that are out there that are cigar smokers and want to try something new, but you're not sure if you're going to like it or not, look at that cigar you know you like. Whatever it is.
Right.
Hopefully it's a Warfighter cigar, but if not, then whatever that brand is that you know you like. And then when you go to your humidor to buy the next cigar that you want to try something new, ask where it's from.
Yeah.
They'll know.
Like, I'm pretty sure if you put a Cuban, Dominican, Honduran, and Nicaraguan cigar in front of me,
I could probably ID it.
I could tell you where it's from.
The only thing that I think I'd probably have a problem with, depending on the blender,
right.
and I'll only say that, it's just depending on the blender. Now, if you gave me a Puro, so for anybody that's curious what a
that's
Puro
I'm talking
is,
about.
Yeah.
you're
That's what
dealing
I'm
with
talking
Puro.
about. Puro. A
So
Cuban
a-
Puro, Nicaraguan Puro, Honduras, Dominican Puro.
Right.
That's
So
it.
a Puro is the idea
I
that
will
it's,
say that
it's single region.
I will say that 90% of the time I could pick out where it's rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, structural tell you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But
But
But just
for,
just
for the listeners that
purely
don't
based off
know,
of flavor.
a Puro, it means that it's not a multi-region blend.
You
and
got
there's
your
a-
wrapper binder fillers all from the same country.
There's a lot of cigars out there, and I mean a lot of the brands that you know that are not Puros. It is a
I wanna be able
blend
to finish
of
this. I don't
yeah.
want it to go out.
it's
either way.
But
it's a Dominican filler binder, but then it's
Yeah,
it's
or
a
whatever
wrappers
wrapper.
from somewhere
Yeah.
else. There's not a lot of Dominican wrappers that are grown, so you're not going to find a lot of Dominican Puros. You get into like your Opus X, your LG, stuff like that. It's a limited run.
this
so,
is all learning for me, by the way. So
so a Puro is single
Me too.
region. It's only coming from one country. So
and a Puro is not necessarily a better tasting cigar. It's
No.
just
No, it's just different.
Yeah.
It means that everything in that cigar is from that one region,
Yeah.
that one country.
okay.
And even even a Nicaraguan Puro.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not
there's
superior.
There's so many different regions that bring out so many different flavor profiles of the same exact tobacco leaf. And just in Nicaragua alone, that even a Nicaraguan Puro, the flavors that you can get out of that are insane. versus
It's full spectrum, is what.
Well,
it
look
is.
at Mexico, though.
Well, you look at the different elevation changes. You look at the different climate areas of where they're grown at.
Definitely
different
unique.
farm areas, things like that. Like there's so much that goes into the growing aspect of tobacco that a lot of people, I don't know, maybe it's the naivety of it. They just don't do the research to figure out like,
What they like.
yeah. Well, not even so much what they like. Like if you grow this leaf in this region, you're going to get this. If you grow it here, you're going to get this. If you're going to grow it there, you're going to get that. And there's very distinctive flavor profiles and tasting notes that you get from different regions based off of elevation, humidity, rain, climate,
Which
soil content.
Brings me
all
back
of
to the
it.
nitrogen
company that I
content,
would
too.
start.
Yeah.
Is that I'd want to have a winery.
Right.
And I'd want to have that winery because of all of those factors that are involved. And I'd want to have that. One of the best models that I've ever seen was actually done by Lito Gomez from La Flor Dominicana with the LG cigar, which is his Dominican Puro. So it's all grown on his farms. It's filler binder wrapper. It's all grown on his farms. But every year of the LG, the year from that cigar is actually on the band.
Yeah.
So it will say 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
Because whatever hit that island that year,
It
a heavy
affects-
hurricane
it
season, a
affects
light
all of
hurricane
it.
season.
Yep. Did it rain?
How much rain was
Yep.
previous to the harvest? How dry was it previous to the harvest? Every year is going to have a signature to that cigar.
Yes. All of that plays a
And
factor.
wine does the same thing. That's why they
100%.
date wine.
Do nitrites in the wine or in the soil really?
Well, that's what feeds the plant. So yes,
But so that's like the biggest flavor factor. Is that the biggest flavor factor? Do you
no,
think?
it's just
There-
one of the
It's
factors.
one of. There's a
Okay.
lot
It's-
that goes into it.
Okay.
How late or early was the rain season?
Yeah.
When did they harvest? There's weird things involved. Like, did they harvest at night or did they harvest during the day?
Right.
Like, all of that comes into where wine flavor comes into. And as somebody that had the luxury of being involved with cigar blending and being a fan of wine, the reason I would want to own a winery is,
You don't have to leave the U.S. to make a blend.
well, there's that. There's that, but at the same time, I know year to year, the excitement is always going to stay there because you're not going to know what you had
Yeah.
until it's ready to actually drink.
And it's same with the cigar. Until you smoke it, you don't
know what you got.
You know what? I'm gonna say something.
And so
real
that's
quick.
what I'm going to go into. If I was going to own another business, it would be I'd want to start a winery.
I'm going to say something real quick. I'm smoking both of these cigars, and the pairing of these two cigars together.
All right, let me fucking
is,
see the
is
damn
very unique. Like it's
So that's what I was
Actually,
getting
I
on
want to
this.
see it against because I'm smoking a vaccine right now.
Yeah.
The new Warfighter tobacco, which is not a mild cigar. And Cubans as a whole, and y'all can fucking fight me if you want to out there in fucking podcast land. Cubans as a whole are a milder
Open
cigar.
invitation
I don't
for
give
a
a
fight.
fuck
Yeah.
what you think you've got. Cubans, they're a milder cigar.
Yeah. 99%. 95% of them.
Sure. And all the ones
Sure.
and all the ones that don't fall into that category, I don't give a fuck who you are, you can't get your hands on them. So like there are some limited production Solomons and stuff
Yeah.
like that exist that I've had the joy of smoking
Yeah.
because I was in the industry for long enough that you can't get them. I'm
Right.
sorry, but you can't.
What
Like,
would you say is the rarest cigar you've had the pleasure of having?
rarest.
Oh.
And I am saying this. There's a difference
The
between
warfighter
rare.
vaccine.
There's a difference
There's only
between rare
5,000 made.
and when I say the rarest pleasure you've had. There's a difference between having a rare one and having the pleasure of smoking it, because you might have it and you just might be like, I don't really like
Well,
it.
and I think some people confuse rare with expensive.
rarest cigar I've ever had.
I think the rare cigar I ever had is one that Jazz gave me.
I gave you a pretty rare cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was, I think,
It was some like factory press, like never released LFD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a.
Now, what
I
did
gave you
think of
another
it?
one that is probably
good.
still sitting in your humidor. That
I still have the factory press sitting there. I'm letting that thing
But the
age.
Corona that I gave you, that one that's got that black wrapper on it,
I still got that one.
there
too.
was
That's
only
aging.
there was only 200 of those ever made, and they
Yeah.
were made for me.
But that's the thing. Like,
so I have some we have some pretty rare ones.
we do.
We have some that we went down to Nicaragua and we blended 5 different blends and we brought back 20
Yeah,
of each.
there's literally 20 in existence.
Yeah. Now,
So
the reason there's only 20 is because when they aged, they sucked ass.
Yeah, they weren't the greatest at all. So we kiboshed it. The whole
So
thing.
that's why I said what's
So let's qualify this. The rarest
production.
production cigar that I've ever smoked, the Cohiba Familia Reserva Solomon. They were made only for the Castro family.
all right. Fair enough.
Made by Cohiba. Cohiba is the state cigar of Cuba. They're all state owned. Every Cuban brand is owned by
Now,
the country.
There's also a Cohiba that doesn't
Then
have
there is the
anything to,
non-Cuban
doesn't have
Cohiba.
That's
anything to do
way
with Cuba.
different.
There's also the non-Cuban Romeo Julieta, the non-Cuban Partagas, the
H.
non-Cuban
Upmann.
Actually,
H.
was that
Upmann.
the Protagonist that? No.
No, those are Cubans that I had.
No, the one I showed you that I said I had the other day.
What did you think of this one?
It was good.
It's light, but it's good.
Alex-
I mean, I like
Alex
the others.
something.
It's got that unique flavor.
No, that,
Yeah,
that
but it
was a
still has that
non-Cuban.
minerally taste. That
No, I thought it was called Protagonist at some point, so that's why I said that.
Yeah, yeah.
Partagas.
The Partagas, their series are numbered, and the Cubans are very distinct. When you smoke one of those, you're gonna be like, oh yeah,
the Serie
That's-
D.
yeah,
Is-
that's it.
The
That's
Serie
it.
D is amazing.
That's a Cuban.
Well, the Serie D number 4.
No, I like the number
Outside
5.
Sorry, yeah, it was the.
Are you really the number 5 guy?
Yeah, I like the number 5.
I've had them both. They're both pretty good.
Well, I know some other ones that swear by the number 2.
We had a buddy
but
in
they just
Nebraska.
like torpedoes.
We had a buddy in
so-
Nebraska, Dave Field. He had a locker at a humidor or at a lounge that we actually launched Warfighter out of, and he put 2 boxes of the Partagas Series D's, the number 4s.
5s.
and-
Those are 5s.
No, were they?
Yeah.
Okay, then they were 5s. But he sent us a message, like group text between us, and he's like, "Hey, I can't go in and smoke anymore. If you guys want to go in and smoke these, just ask the bartender for the key to
Son
my
of a
locker."
bitch.
I already told him it was okay, and so for like 2 months, like I don't know, maybe every 2-3 weeks, I'd be like, you know what, fuck it. I'd walk in, I'd grab one of his sticks, one of the Partagas, and I'd smoke that first
The
off
key
and
to
be
the
like,
city?
oh, this is delicious, and then I'd go and smoke whenever I wanted. And then I remember, like, I think it was like 2 months after he sent that message out, I opened his locker and there was 1 cigar left, and I was like, oh shit.
It was the Alec Bradley Prasado. That's the one I was talking about. That I
Yeah,
showed you.
no, that's way different than the Partagas that we're talking
No,
about.
I knew
Yeah,
it started
yeah.
with a P, but I
Yeah.
couldn't remember. And the one I had was decent. So
Yeah.
obviously, if you're a cigar smoker, you're going to smoke what you like.
Actually, I think I still have a standing drink off with Alec from
Yeah.
Alec Bradley. After last year, we talked a little shit.
Actually hammered.
Yeah, and he's like,
Is actually gonna
and
get
I'm
hammered.
like, bro, I'm like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's getting into.
No, he really doesn't. But so let's
Alec
get,
Bradley, Warfighter, challenge you to that drink off any day of the week, my friend.
yeah, any day, any day. I'll take it on a Tuesday after a Monday hangover. I'll still beat you.
Don't underestimate those Bradley boys. I've drank with Alec and Bradley.
I know. Alec challenged me to a drink off. Yeah, last IPCPR.
Those
I
boys-
told him I'm game. Let's
Those
do
boys
this.
had practice.
But
I drank
as-
with them in Houston.
As for that, so because I am smoking the Maduro,
The risotto.
is it? It's
Yeah.
not a.
Nope, that's the risotto.
I thought it was still considered Maduro.
Nope.
Okay.
Maduro literally means ripe, and it'll be dark.
But
Oscuro
again, that
Maduro
paired
means
with this-
really ripe.
I can't inhale this and not cough. That one I can.
Yeah.
And
It's a
I,
lighter cigar.
yeah, no,
We've completely derailed here.
Yeah. So let's go back to.
Let's go to the
boys.
actual debate.
I got you. So
What would be your next business? if you were gonna
I
start
spoke
one?
about this business probably 4 years ago. It was before we even started Warfighter.
All right,
know
gay
that.
porn.
And-
So
I
know
moving
that.
on,
Gigolo.
Freeman.
No.
Like, what do you?
we were spitballing ideas that
first
had
customer.
a product that was consumable. And my idea for this, I wanted to do a monthly subscription to condoms.
Well, that's just confidence. Like I kind of admire that, to be totally honest with you.
I
that
told,
you think you're gonna fuck enough that you need a monthly subscription to condoms.
I told him it would lead. I told him it would lead to suicide.
I
You
don't
got a
care.
guy who's like, I'm fucking 3 months in and I haven't used any.
I
Like,
don't
this
care
is
if you
bullshit.
use them or not. I'm gonna send them every month until you cancel your subscription.
The biggest subscriber to that would be Quagmire.
But you got to think of it though. Like, remember when you were?
I mean, your retention rate's going to suck,
but no,
your
no,
new
no.
membership's
Time
probably
out,
going to be
exactly.
amazing.
But you remember
Yeah.
when you were like late teens, early
Broke, I
20s?
don't need it anymore.
Okay. And you were walking into a store to buy a box of condoms.
I
and
don't
it was-
remember this at all.
I know it's like rattlesnakes. You don't fuck with them. I get it. But just hypothetically, you walk into a store to buy a box of condoms. It's a little awkward. You walk into a gas station to get a box of condoms. You know what I mean? Like, it's when you're that
I
young.
don't.
I
It's one of
usually,
those things
I
you're like,
usually
I don't-
own that shit.
Some people do, but some people walk in, they're timid about it. Like, what if I created a service where it just showed up every month at your door? However many you think you're going to use, it's there. Whatever type you want. You want ribbed, her pleasure, your pleasure, whatever you want.
Mixed batch.
Yeah. A sampler pack. Fuck. You know what I mean?
Squeezers. Oh,
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know, fucking even the MIG boys, the magnums for the guys that think they need them.
yeah. It's like that serial number they put on the bottom of the condom.
They put an expiration date on there too. You
Yeah.
ever notice?
If you don't know what I'm
No, you
talking
don't
about,
use them.
you haven't rolled them down that far, so
Right.
you don't
All
have
right,
to worry
when
about
you
it.
talk about the timidness of buying them, I do understand.
Clearly.
No, I
I've
don't.
met your family.
Clearly, because you have like
I have 4 kids. I haven't used them.
all the kids. Yeah.
So you would not have been a customer, but
No.
it's okay.
I would have been a contender, but not a customer.
Scott would have been a customer either.
Vince Vargas, not a customer.
Not a customer.
Does he have like? Is it 7,
Odelay?
8 now?
Not a customer.
But you know what I mean, though. Like if that was available and it was marketed in a way that was like,
College scene.
you know,
Sure.
yeah.
All right. Freeman?
So growing up, I have always been the outdoors person. Hunting, not so much hunting when I was younger, but fishing all the time. Up in like at the age of 10, me and one of my best friends, every day after school, we'd take our bikes right down the river and just go fishing. I would love to have my own fishing tour business.
Oh, that's awesome.
Take
That'd
them
be
out
fun.
to lake, especially here in Texas, like bass fishing.
Yeah.
Specifically. Lake Fork, Amistad, Falcon Lake. It's
I thought almost was that movie about the slave ship.
oh yeah. But just fishing in general here in Texas. For bass fishing, this is the pinnacle of bass fishing here in Texas. Like my biggest bass that I've ever caught personally would be considered small here in Texas.
You ever dropped one?
I've lost a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest bass I ever
So
caught.
would you say that you
Nine
dropped
and-
the base?
Base.
Boom.
I see what you did there.
But my biggest bass was actually caught up in Washington State at 9.5 pounds. And
That's it. That's cute.
So I like how he said that we're the pinnacle of bass fishing, but the biggest one I ever caught was in Washington
no,
State.
but
I
down
caught
down
I caught a
here,
42-inch bass.
striped bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's saltwater. But down here in Texas, I want to say this.
But you can saltwater fish in Texas.
You can, but not for straight bass.
Yeah,
You get sharks though.
yeah, you can.
You can also get
But
strawberry
it would be-
groupers.
I
which is
would
the
love-
My Little Pony of the Sea.
I would love to be in charge of a tour guide, and not just any. I would like, and this comes from my personal experience with the military, but taking like kind of like Hero Sports does with hunting. I'd like to do it on the side of fishing, taking
That's
veterans, disabled veterans, EMS, all along those lines, just out fishing and have fun. Get them out on the water. You don't have to think about the daily rigors of life. You're just worried about what's on the end of that line. And one of my favorite quotes is, "A bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work."
That is a true story.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of Hero Sports, I am actually a official hunting guide for Hero Sports now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So you're not going to catch shit.
No, not me personally, but the people that we bring out, the disabled vets that we get taking with us are the
No, they
shooters.
they do
They're
the
the ones going
Lord's
to be doing
work.
that.
They're good
The
guys.
downfall with everything that's going on right now is because of all the COVID bullshit. None of the ranchers want city folk out on their property,
That's true.
so it's really hard to get a hunt scheduled.
That's true.
When
And with the fishing,
They're
it's
worried.
not just not rod and reel fishing. you could do bow and arrow too. And that is a lot of fun. So when I was in Virginia,
I'm all about stringer fishing. Just fucking run that shit out, and then I can just get to drink until
Another
I
cool
just
story.
Go back around and pick shit up.
Warfighter is a non-monetary sponsor for the Drinkin' Bros bow fishing team.
what? I didn't even know they had one.
We
And
have,
they
we
have-
have jerseys.
And we have jerseys, and they have one of the most badass bow fishing boat setups I've ever seen in my entire life. Wrapped everything. I mean, he sent me a
So
picture
you-
of it, and I was like, holy shit.
So all sorts of cool ideas. So Justin, why don't you run it down? What are all the business opportunities that if you were out there in podcast land and don't know what the fuck to do with your extra money, what you can invest in?
We got Jazz's Winery that he makes only what the fuck he wants to.
True
We
story.
got John
Subscription condoms.
looking out for
You know, just
people
kind
who
of.
are a little shy in
Population
the
control.
store.
I'm looking
Absolutely.
out for the health and welfare of all the American people.
We got Chris over here that just wants to get wet. and
And fishy.
and fishy.
Yeah.
Loves the smell. And fuck, Scott, I forgot yours.
I want to do a distillery.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So if you have too much money and don't know
So we
where to
got
put it,
booze, condoms, and fish.
Here's
I
the
feel
thing,
like
they
they
all
all
tie in-
link together.
Yes.
yeah.
Drinking and fishing?
If you have too much money and don't know what to do with it, we've got a sure thing for you to invest in.
We're gonna start a GoFuckMe for all of these. I mean, a GoFundMe for all of these campaigns.
I still
it's
say
perfect.
that's my best idea.
Your best bet is probably for the fact that Freeman wants to take men out and play with their long poles. So
Or you're going to shoot long shots.
yeah, there you go. So on that, it's important to have dreams. It's important to pursue those dreams. But you know, when you've been drinking too much and smoking cigars, you can have all the dreams you fucking want to.
Yeah.
Is too much an actual thing?
Nope.
All right.
But I will raise my glass and thank every single one of you for being my freedom friends. And to all of you out there in podcast land, we highly encourage you to push all of them buttons and send us a review, send us a so no shit story. Let us know what business you'd start if you have the chance. And maybe we'll pilfer that idea and go fucking start it ourselves.
Or maybe involve you in it.
Well, no, let's not get carried away here.
Well, I mean, if it's good enough.
But you know, this is still capitalism at its finest. But if you're out there trying to start that new business, or you know, trying to just get down to business, we
getting
highly
down
support
tonight.
everything that you're doing. So with that, I will say, while you're making this country an even better place, in the midst of all that, smoke on, drink on, and god damn it, freedom the fuck on.
All day, boys. All day.
We'll see you guys next time.
Salute.